What's up, JEFusion fans? This is Philip, and welcome back to another Kingohger video. Sorry about the sound quality. I am not at home right now, but I have decided to make this video anyway. Well, it's still fresh in my mind because we're only 3 episodes in, right? But this video is gonna blow everyone's mind, actually. So I would like to talk about Gira Hasty. You heard that right. Gira Hasty. Now, before you guys say anything, I would like to remind everyone that there's not much information about this yet. I actually found an interview with the Taisei Sakai, the actor who plays Gira, and I'm not sure which magazine it came from, but there were people who leaked it on Twitter, most likely like Japanese viewers. So credits to whoever found this you know interview and decided to share it with everyone. So the person or people who did this, well, thanks to all of them, but most importantly, thanks to Toei for revealing this early. Now, I would like to clarify that while this interview is official, right? There is a possibility that the writers of this interview may have made a mistake. It is a possibility, but again, we're not really sure about this yet. However, theories that say that probably people have been thinking, and I might have mentioned this long ago. The theory that Gira is actually part of the Hasty royal family could potentially be stronger at this point, right? Again, the show itself hasn't really shown us anything yet. However, episode 3 provides us with some very interesting hints, with particularly one scene which I will get to later. So, if you probably have seen the thumbnail for this video, or if you're reading, or if you're coming from JEFusion.com, yes, the character is listed as Gira Hasty. So, of course, we all know that the current king of Shugodam is Rakles Hasty. And among the Kingohgers so far, Gira is the one whose full name has never been revealed, at least so far. So this interview is again a leak. So there could be again some mistakes on the part of the interviewers and the writers of that article, but again, the potential for Gira actually being from the Hasty royal family is also a high possibility at this point. So it's not zero, but it's definitely not 100% either. Yeah, now I would like to talk about some points in this video. So, if Gira is actually part of the Hasty royal family, there are a few potential angles that we can see here. So first off, right, Gira is actually Rakles's younger brother. Now, uh, Gira actually is portrayed as someone who grew up in an orphanage, but they could be separated from a very long time ago. Like Rakles probably doesn't know that he has a younger brother, or he might have forgotten that he has a younger brother. And if Gira had been separated from his potentially older brother at birth, usually, probably, then he, because he grew up in an orphanage, like I've said earlier, so he doesn't know that he has a younger brother or he came from the royal family in the first place. But if Gira had been separated, there could be a potential reason. And whatever this reason is, so if this is true that Gira is actually from the Hasty bloodline, then we probably should wait for future episodes for this reveal. Now, let me explain why Gira is potentially Rakles' younger brother. Now, given that the actors who play Rakles and Gira respectively, Masato Yano is 31 years old, while uh, Taisei Sakai, who plays Gira, is actually 24. Now, while Taisei Sakai looks much younger than his age and could probably portray at least someone who's 17 or 18, Masato Yano doesn't look too old either. I mean, yes, being 31 years old compared to, 24, definitely he looks much older, but not so old that he could be Gira's father, which is why I said they're potentially brothers. Now, another possible angle is that while Gira is again a potential descendant of the Hasti royal bloodline, they are probably at least cousins of some sort, or like an uncle nephew kind of thing. Because if you look at the monarchies traditionally, so it is very common that, let's say, the first son is the inheritor to the crown and throne, or if there's an only son in the family and let's say the rest are daughters, even if the son is the youngest child, then technically this son will still inherit the crown by technicality. That's how monarchies work. So potentially Gira could have come from a descendant who has not inherited the crown, but still being part of the Hasti royal bloodline. Um, Maybe Gira has shown some traits that are still worthy of the powers of the Oger caliber, which enabled him to use it, and transform into Kuwagata Oger and also revive the dormant god Kuwagata, which had been again, inactive for a very long time, while the other Shugod are, or the other Shugods are active, and Gira was the one who was able to initiate the formation of the King Oger Mecha once again. So so now we are going to talk about the particular scene in episode 3, which could explain Gira's potential royal bloodline. So this is going to be spoilers for episode 3. So if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend that you watch King Oger first, get started, or if you've already started, then make sure you watch episode 3 and then come back to this video if you don't want spoilers. So now that I've said it, here we go. Okay? So there is a particular scene where uh, Himeno, so Kamakiri Oger has invited, uh, or rather, sorry, there was a condition, right? Uh, Gira is a fugitive basically for his rebellion against Rakles, and after his stint in Kosopa in episode 2, so Kamakiri Oger in God Kamakiri suddenly grabs Gira and also Yama and took them to Ishabana, basically not really as hostages, but she basically has captured them for all intents and purposes. Uh, in order to gain God Kuwagata, or to take back God Kuwagata, probably for Rakles, so Gira made some sort of negotiation, or actually by Sebastian, uh, Himeno's butler. So he did recommend some sort of a trade, like to convince Gira to surrender the god Kuwagata, or aka Kuwagon, as Gira calls it. So Gira mentions the rainbow jururira, a special kind of food that, as Gira reveals, he has eaten in his childhood. So maybe it's been a long time, but he still remembers the taste. While the rainbow jururira, as seen in a flashback, is some sort of like gelatin with gold sprinkles on top. So the Ishabana version of the rainbow jururira, well, they tried to make it as close to Gira's description, but it turned out to be some kind of soup. Okay? And you can clearly see the difference here between Yama and Gira. So Yama is depicted as someone who grew up in the slums, so definitely there is, a lack of manners, obviously. However, Gira, even though he had grown in an orphanage, which probably didn't have much to teach about manners, but maybe like very basic, the way that Gira ate or drank the soup was very, very refined. You know, like you could say that he is either nobility or potentially royalty, which actually impresses Himeno, of course, as opposed to Yama, who, you know, was very much a brute at that point. So again, it is a potential hint to Gira's possible relation to the Hasty bloodline. Now, going back to Yama a little bit, so again, he's said to have grown up in the slums, so maybe at least for the other king ogres, they don't have to be related to the very first king who wielded the powers of the king ogres 2,000 years ago. Again, like bloodline versus merit or accomplishment. So Yama is said to have become king or leader of Nkosopa on his, by his own skill and effort, which probably have making him worthy of the older caliber. While Gira has, well, he has shown some qualities that make him worthy as a king, but again, he could also be potentially related to the bloodline of the original king or the Hasty bloodline, if it is the case. So while we are still waiting for future episodes to reveal more information about Gira's potential origins, so this leaked interview could already give us an idea of what to expect in the future. So this probably had been a bit confusing. I'm sorry if anyone's confused, but again, the point is this leaked interview tells us that Gira could potentially be a descendant of the Hasty bloodline, or potentially Rakles' brother. And again, we don't know anything about this yet, but let's wait for future episodes to confirm or debunk this leak. So, anyways, tell me what you guys think in the comment section below. So, link is in the description if you want to see that scan interview. Although I'm not translating it because it is just an interview with Taisei, and the only important part that you really want to focus on is the fact that his name is listed as Gira Hasty. So again, this is what started this whole video in the first place. So again, let me know what you guys think about this possible reveal. So as always, thank you so much for watching, and Like I always say, please do leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't forget that notification bell so you get the latest from JEFusion. This has been Philip, and I'll see you next time. Bye.